Not everyone gets to come home the way they went or come back at all.
Би юуг айгүй тодорхой хардаг. Хэрвээ утаанаас хурдан гарахгүй бол өндөрх нь тодорхой гэдгийг бол айгүй хардаг.
War ich eigentlich schon erstmal geschockt, was jetzt da eigentlich, was jetzt hier los ist, was die da gemacht haben.
To survive Mongolia's long, cold winters, people burn coal and wood to heat their homes. A dome of smog covers the country's capital, Ulaanbaatar. Smog so thick, the city keeps the streetlights on even during the day. Air pollution in Ulaanbaatar is 7 times the amount that is considered safe. 19-year-old Segi has grown up in the smog. She's one of 3 young people we talked to on this show who are struggling with their health. Segi has trouble even carrying water home from the well. Over the past years, Segi has repeatedly struggled with bronchitis. The bad air has left her lungs damaged.
When I do, and then it's very hard for lungs. So, Ийм нөгөө зүгээр хүүтэн ч гэсэн цэвэр агаарт амьсгалгүй мутаатай тэгээд хүүтэн юу амьсгалахаар амар цээжинд их ачаал л үгэж байна.
Like most people here, Segi lives in a traditional home called a yurt. More than half of the 1.3 million people in Ulaanbaatar live in yurt districts. The air here smells like smoke and I can feel my eyes sting. I'm walking through Ulaanbaatar, the district Segi lives in. It's minus 17 degrees Celsius. That's quite mild for one of the world's coldest cities. But I'm freezing and very excited to warm up inside Segi's yurt.
Энэ ханиаданд маш сайн анс жимсний шүүс байгаа.
Really good.
Ханиаданд ер нь цэцэгнээс бараг 2 дахин илүү.
It's good for lung and health and
өвлийн хүүтний уйлралд одоо айгүй сайн хүний дархлааг сэргээн за мөн юунд хуушигны ямар нэг өвчлөлт, ансгалын замын өвчлөлт маш сайн. Бас гомдтой.
Segi invites me to eat dumplings with her and her younger brother Muji. Their parents left the city 4 years ago to work in the countryside. Every month they send back what money they can. In summer, the kids go to work with their parents. There, outside the city, the air is much cleaner. The rest of the year, though, Segi and her brother stay in Ulaanbaatar to get an education.
Тэгээд яхаа одоо цэвэр агаарт гол нь цэвэр агаарт амьдрах хөстэй байтал ингээд энэ утаанд удаан байгаад байна гэж бодхоос айгу тэр үл их хэцүү санагддаг л та. Тэр нь утаан зөвхөн одоо уушиг зүгээр ханиалгаад яваад байх биш. Цаашаа өхөрөө хөндрүүлэх юм бол өшөө зөндөө олон асуудлууд ургаж гарна шүү дээ.
completely raw.
This wall is a memorial to British soldiers who lost their lives in Afghanistan. I've come here with David. The 27-year-old survived both the Afghanistan war and the conflict in Iraq. But some of his friends didn't.
Do you know any of them?
Yeah, this one was my friend Brett, who served in Afghanistan with us. That's Lee, and that's Josh.
How old were they?
Josh at the top was 18, a week away from his 19th birthday. Lee was about 24, 25, and Brett was 18, 19 at the time.
What was it like for you?
Quite difficult. You just, you get told the news and then you just got to try and carry on, really. You don't really have time to mourn the death, so you just got to try and get on with your job.
Have you had any fear of death in this time?
Got no choice, really. You've got to try and think you're going out there with your friends at the same time, so they're probably all thinking it the same, but people need to keep a level head. Otherwise, if everyone starts panicking and everything, then you're obviously going to die faster. So you try to do everything properly to then stay alive and don't think about it.
David lost a leg in Afghanistan in 2009. He spent 2 years in a wheelchair before getting an artificial limb.
And those were vehicles you were driving in Afghanistan?
While I was commanding it, I would be stood up top with the gun while my driver's in the driver's seat, and got people in the back and you can have people here. But that's where I was stood, on top of the gun with all the radios and stuff, telling them where to go.
After he got back from Afghanistan, David was different. He had outbursts of anger. Sometimes he couldn't sleep for days, and when he did, he had recurring nightmares. Mostly about the mission that almost got him killed.
My vehicle got hit by a bomb underneath, which launched me 45 foot into the air, shattering both my legs, hurting my back and damaging my head. This is all I think about, like when I was having my flashbacks. It was just purely seeing me get blown up again and again and again. And it was just like I am now, stood watching it, just driving past and then watching me get blown up. That's the same vision I had every night.
Nestled between rolling hills and rustic vineyards, our next story takes us to the village of Achkaren. I've come to Germany's wine country, near the border to France. I'm here to meet 20-year-old Alexander. He's one of 11,000 people in Germany who need an organ transplant to survive. For now, this is what keeps Alex alive. He has to carry the device with him everywhere he goes. It regulates a pump implanted in his heart.
Das sieht man so immer, wenn das Kabel los ist, kommt dann der Alarm.
Okay.
Und dann halt auch möglichst schnell wieder einstecken. Gut.
Kann man dieses Gerät eigentlich vergessen oder hast du das ständig im Kopf, wenn du das trägst?
Du bist eigentlich die ganze Zeit mit dem Gerät konfrontiert. Du bist halt recht schwer, denn das Ganze ein bisschen zu vergessen.
These batteries power Alex's heart pump. It gets the electricity it needs from a cable running through his abdomen.
Das war's dann eigentlich. Das erste Mal aufwachen, da hatte ich eigentlich mehr das Gefühl, wenn du jetzt abends hinlegst und träumst irgendwo, so eine Art Wachtraum. Da stand ich irgendwie komplett neben dir, hast da auch wirklich, also weiß Gott, was für Sachen eingebildet. Und ich war dann einfach an die Station angeschlossen. Das hast du noch die Drehzahl von der Pumpleistung. Da war ich eigentlich schon erstmal geschockt, was jetzt da eigentlich, was jetzt hier los ist, was die mit dir gemacht haben.
If anything happens to Alex's support system, his organs won't get the oxygen they need, and his body will shut down. Alex still lives at home. When he was first put on the waiting list for a new heart back in 2013, his family wasn't prepared for what was in store.
Ich habe eigentlich für mich selber gedacht, es geht recht schnell, aber habe mich dann belehren lassen vom unserem Doktor, dass es bis zu 5 Jahre gehen kann. Es ist so, man muss halt abwarten. Weil ich glaube, sonst macht man sich total verrückt.
After his first pump nearly caused Alex to have a stroke, he now has to take around a dozen pills a day to prevent further complications.
To find out more about Siggy's lung disease, we go to her local clinic. There are 4 doctors working here. In wintertime, each one of them treats at least 200 patients a day. The doctors say half of the patients are sick because of air pollution. Whenever Ziggy gets a cold, her bronchitis comes back. That means the airways in her lungs get inflamed. The main triggers for Ziggy's bronchitis are Mongolia's cold climate and the smog. The doctor has already prescribed her antibiotics many times, but they don't always work. Ziggy is trying hard to stay healthy so she doesn't damage her lungs even more.
Энэ өвчин дахин дамжраад байвал ажиглах болно л гэсэн үг шүү дээ. Энэ өвчин дахин одоо тэгээ сард нэг удаа ч юм уу, улиралд нэг удаа ч юм уу, ойр ойрхон ханаад хүрэл, тийм ээ? Ханаалгал ханаад хүрэл, дарж хүрэл ингээл яваад байвал энэ архаг бронхит болох юусаа асуудалгүй.
Ziggy's doctor tells her to keep warm, to avoid big groups of people, and to get as much fresh air as possible. But fresh air is hard to find in wintertime, especially in poorer neighborhoods. The smog is so heavy in Ulaanbaatar that it's listed as one of the cities with the worst air quality in the world. Coal and wood are the only fuels available to heat the yurts, and sometimes Ziggy can't even afford them. I help her carry the coal and wood back home.
After David came back from Afghanistan, he was diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. His life fell apart.
My ex-wife thought our divorce happened purely because of my anger issues, and I didn't really think I had a problem. So it was only when I spent a year on my own, heavily drinking and no sleeping. If I was drunk, I was happy. It's a horrible pattern, and then it just goes downhill from there.
This is where I live, my living room.
Yeah, nice.
It's quite spacious. But yeah, I'll show you my legs. This is, down here is my cartoon leg. It's the one I use for walking long distance and over hills and uneven ground, but it's quite heavy.
Of all of the European countries, Britain had the largest military presence in Afghanistan. Around 150,000 British soldiers served there, most of them younger than I am. Over the past years, there have been more and more reported cases of British soldiers with mental disorders. The last official count was over 5,300. That's a 70% rise over previous years. But those are just the official figures. I'm on my way to meet a man who says the real numbers are much higher. It is estimated that 1 in 5 veterans suffer from some form of mental disorder. Some experts say the military isn't doing enough to help them.
Ah, welcome, hello.
Tony.
You must be Konstantin.
I'm Konstantin.
Good, well done.
How are you doing?
Thank you. Well done finding us.
Tony used to be a colonel, then he became a therapist. He founded the charity PTSD Resolution in order to help veterans.
Free to choose. If you take it scientifically, there's only 2% of the people who've got a diagnosis of PTSD. But there's another 10–15% with depression, another 15% with alcohol. We say, as therapists, we say that that's all part of the same problem. And that may be what the government wants to do, to minimize the problem so they have less liability.
So do you think this problem is underestimated?
Yes.
5 years, the difference is getting smaller.
Leaving the house requires careful preparation. This is just one of the many precautions Alex has had to incorporate into his daily life. If anything happens to his heart device, if water or dust gets inside the battery pack, his life could be in serious danger. Like many people in the area, Alex works on a vineyard, but only part-time, and only when the weather allows it. All it would take is just one slip in the mud, one bad fall, and the machine keeping him alive could stop working. Even on a good day, he can only handle a few hours on the job.
Es sind Tage, wo ich dann eher halt alle paar Meter stehen bleibe, dann Luft hole, weil du einfach merkst, dass wirklich halt einfach nicht mehr so belastbar.
Wenn ein Risiko dabei ist, warum machst du das noch? Warum machst du das weiter?
Dass du einfach der Körper fit bleibt, dass man bei den Kollegen halt bleiben kann. Einfach ein bisschen unter die Leute dann. Macht es auch einem leichter, mit dem Ganzen umzugehen, das Ganze mal zu vergessen.
Alex is one of 11,000 people in Germany waiting for an organ transplant. But the number of people donating their organs is much lower. In recent years, it's even gone down. That's even though 70% of Germans say they support organ donation, in theory.
Als junger Mensch will man sich, glaube ich, keine Gedanken über den Tod machen und wie es dann weitergeht. Und eben auch die Organe dann. Ich denke, das wird der Hauptgrund sein.
Vor kurzem war ja irgendwas in den Medien, dass irgendwie bei irgendwelchen Kliniken was nicht sauber lief. Mit diesen ganzen, also dass Ärzte auch gefuscht haben, damit die schneller an Organe kommen und sowas. Und deswegen ist mir das nicht so recht.
Und, aber im Grunde genommen hast du nichts gegen Organspende?
Nee. Also wenn das sauber abläuft und so, dann bin ich dafür.
Ich finde es halt schwer, sich da eine Meinung darüber zu bilden. Und ich habe mich einfach nur nicht damit dann auseinandergesetzt.
Becoming an organ donor in Germany is easy. All you have to do is get one of these, an organ donor's card. They're available lots of places, including pharmacies. If more people had these cards, it would save lives. 3 people die in Germany every day waiting for a transplant.
To keep warm, Ziggy shares a bed with her younger brother Muji. Her doctor told her if she gets sick again, she could do more damage to her lungs. It's estimated that in the next 20 years, lung diseases, including chronic bronchitis, will become the world's 3rd leading cause of death. Before Ziggy can light a new fire in her yard, she has to empty the ashes from her stove and hack more coal. Outside, it's 19 degrees below 0 Celsius. It's a vicious circle. In order to stay healthy, Ziggy has to keep warm, but that means going out into the cold and burning more wood and coal.
Би бол юуг айгуу тодорхой хардаг. Хэрвээ утаанаас хурдан гарахгүй бол өндөрхөн тодорхой гэдгийг бол айгуу хардаг. Тэрэнд бол энэ юуны имчилгээ энэ бүхэн бол ерөөсөө нөлөөлөхгүй. Гол нь утаага олно байхгүй. Би яг тийм муу болоод тэгж өвчин тэгж муу угаасаа ярмуудахгүй байх. Тэгэхгүй би ер нь зүгээр тийм муудсан байгаа ерөөсөө төсөөлөхгүй.
Scientists from Mongolia and Canada have been examining the effects of air pollution on the people here. A study they published showed that smog was responsible for 1 in 10 deaths in the Mongolian capital. Now researchers believe it may be as high as 1 in 4. Smog really is killing the people of Ulaanbaatar.
Talk about anything. Doesn't matter.
Still, there's little public awareness of just how dangerous air pollution is to the population.
And I got...
After leaving the military, David saw a therapist. Now he sleeps better. And he's not drinking as much. But his trauma will never go away entirely. David's ex-wife takes care of their son. David only sees him every other weekend. He's still looking for work, but for now he can live off his pension from the army.
That was the day I woke up and they took my leg off.
What do you think of your decision now?
I'd go again.
Yeah?
I wouldn't change anything. I'd do it again. I'd go again. I never really wanted to leave the army.
Why?
Friends. It's hard to explain because people don't really understand, but it's to be with my friends again. Where's your queen and country when you're over there? They're not there, are they? So you're fighting for your friends, so you make sure you get to come home okay. But unfortunately, not everyone gets to come home the way they went or come back at all, which can be quite sad, to be honest.
David came back from battle different than he was before. The memories of war will stay with him forever. But for now, he's found a way to cope.
In a tiny town like this one, the volunteer fire department is the backbone of many people's social lives. Alex had trained to rescue people. If a building was on fire, he would have been one of the first inside. Now he's had to take a back seat. He tries to help out by coordinating information for the fire crew.
Ich denke schon manchmal schon, wenn du die Kollegen dann siehst, wo halt voll mitwirken. Und du weißt, dass es halt nicht mehr so sein wird.
This may be just a drill. But with all the action, I start to wonder how safe it is for Alex and his heart support system.
Das Risiko ist da, aber man halt einfach den Lebensalter oder einfach der Alltag irgendwie gestalten, möglichst wie vorher auch Ablauf reinbringen oder System und einfach den Anschluss halt nicht verlieren an Freunde, Kollegen. Und also es ist auf jeden Fall keine Option, halt sich zu Hause verkehren. Also Kopf in den Sand zu stecken.
Alex has no idea how much longer he'll have to wait to get a new heart. But clearly, he's determined to stay alive. For now, it's goodbye, but I'll be checking in on him again soon.
Zegi is also determined not to let her condition get her down. Every weekend she goes hiking with friends on the holy mountain Bogdul. She says the fresh air here will help her heal. But Zegi can't keep up with the others. Alongside her studies, Zegi volunteers with an NGO. Next spring, they'll be planting trees in Ulaanbaatar. Finally, Zegi makes it to the top.
цаашаа юугаад цээр агаар тамдраад магадгүй хийшээгээ байнга өдөө зөндөө их алхахад уушиг маань ингээд хатгуулаад төвдөөд авахгүй ямар ч асуудалгүй шууд хурдан манай хүмүүс шиг ингээд хурдан ингээд алхаад явахыг хүсэж байна. Тэр бас миний мөрөөдлийн нэг хэсэг. Уушиг маань сайхан эрүүл болоод энэ цэвэр агаарыг ямар ч асуудалгүй гоё авсгалдаг байхыг мөрөөдж.
It's getting darker and the temperature is dropping. Time to head back to the smoggy city.